Thank you, sir.
Good evening, students. Hello, students.
Good evening,
madam.
ma'am.
Evening, madam.
Good evening, madam.
Good evening, students. So, chalo, let's start the class.
Yes.
Wait a moment. Okay. Visible to you? କିଏ ଗୋଟେ ଗପୁଛ? Is it visible to you, dear students?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's start. See, in last two class, in fact, we have discussed something about the contribution by F.W. Taylor, was the father of scientific management, and the contribution by Henry Ford was the father of administrative management. Today we will discuss the contribution by Elton Mayo. Before that, tell me, students, though already we have completed both the eminent personalities contribution, no, what you learn, what you conclude the contribution by this F.W. Taylor and Henry Ford. कौन बुझिले और कौन conclude कले, and what is the output towards the organization of these two eminent personality? कहले से अनुसार मैं एटा को पढ़ेबी. काहे कि मैं क्वेश्चन पचारली, why I ask this question? Because based on this only I will start Elton Mayo contribution. ताको नै कि एटा में स्टार्ट करिबा. कौन बुझिले दुईटा को कंट्रीब्यूशन रो? Anyone? केही किछि बुझिलेनी? पिला माने अच्छा तो आर यू देयर?
Yes, yes, madam. Madam, exactly. हाँ बुझी चुके जैसे जो एक और पॉलिसी हिसाब रे सेटा ठीक है. We are not keep surety नहीं पानो because you have not note down. So if you give some hints ना, then you should answer it.
Okay, देखो F.W. Taylor and Henry Ford, both the person said, no, if the organization will give more facility like remuneration, reward, incentives, salary, no, if all those facility by the organization will give to the employee, then the production and productivity can be increased. Yes or no?
Improve. Yes, improve.
Definitely.
Oh, yes.
According to F.W. Taylor and Henry Ford, they introduced many principles, no? They said many things,
Yes.
no? They said if we will introduce all those things towards the organization, then definitely the organization production and productivity, it can be improved and increased, right? And
Right.
also, though we will discuss here the Hawthorne experiment, this organization also adopted this F.W. Taylor and Henry Ford's principles. Every principles adopted by most of the organization. When the F.W. Taylor and Henry Ford contribute all those principles towards the organization and management, almost all the organization adopted this concept to increase the production and productivity, right? And most of the organization, almost every organization also succeed in these particular things adopted by the organization. They realized, every organization realized, yes, this is the helpful contribution by F.W. Taylor and Henry Ford, no? And through this implementation, really organization production and productivity, it is highly there in a highly increased and highly improved. The organization realized, but in a certain time, in a certain moment, these all those concepts, all those things also adapted by this Hawthorne plant. Contribution by F.W. Taylor and Henry Fowles. Contribution, what they said, what the principles they adapted, that things adapted by this organization. But still, and also the production increased. But after a certain time, this organization, this organization actually, faced a lot of problems. Now, what problems faced by this organization? Now, problem is the organization it was there in a saturated situation, and the decline situation faced by the organization. All the things, all the principles adopted by this organization, said by W. Taylor and Henry Fowles. Still, the organization faced a lot of problem, and it was there in a saturated situation and decline situation. Production highly decreased, and high employee dissatisfaction was there. High employee dissatisfaction, low productivity, and the employee basically what? They are highly they basically employees' contribution towards the organization was very low. So these are the situation faced by this organization. Now, who is Elton Mayo? What is Hawthorne experiment? All those things we will discuss in this chapter. That's why this human relation approach was introduced by Elton Mayo. नहल तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट आसी न था से F.W. Taylor Henry Fowles रे थांते F.W. Taylor का कंट्रीब्यूशन से तो कहले ना if we will give some such kind of physical facility towards the organization, towards the employee, then the productivity production can be improved भी हबो होउची मध्य ता माने नुहे कि सेटा होउनी so 100%
yeah,
होउची
but it will not be continue further because of its it's totally dependent on the production of the company organization. If the company would be might be the company would be going on loss if the productivity will be high and the expenses would be much more than high because the ROI will not be calculated, this will be not be calculated. So it is
yes
better तो है but सब और उससे ज्यादा होगी तो और भी नुकसान हो सकती है. So it should be minimal.
Yes.
Yes.
So here, see, Elton Mayo, now the organization. First, I will tell you about the organization. Then I will tell you what do you mean by Elton Mayo. Then I will tell you the experiment. Aku tike bhalo se dhyana se bujhibe, hela, because it is little bit different from F.W. Taylor and Henry Fowles' contributions. Completely different, right? See, Hawthorne plant, Hawthorne experiment. What do you mean by Hawthorne experiment? Did by Elton Mayo. Hawthorne experiment, it was a area, and that area belongs to, it was a particular area, and the organization belongs to that area, right? It means Hawthorne is a particular area, and the organization also belongs to that area. That's why the plant also called as a Hawthorne. And this plant, it was General Electric Company. The plant, the name of basically the activity of the plant, the name of the plant was General Electric Company. The work of this plant, what is the activity of this plant? The activity of this plant was telephone. It is a telephone manufacturing company, telephone wiring manufacturing company, right? So Hawthorne, it was a organization, it was an area, and there this is the General Electric Company. It was situated in the Western USA. Western USA eta gote area re situated thila. It was a very big organization. Around more than 30,000 workers were worked there. 30,000 ରୁ ଅଧିକ ଲୋକ ଏରିଆରେ କାମ କରୁଥିଲେ. And here କଣ କାମ କରୁଥିଲେ ନା it was a production company, telephone manufacturing company, right? Where this company adopted all the facilities, adopted all the principles adopted by F.W. Taylor and Henry Fowles. The production highly improved, increased, but after a certain time, the organization faced a lot of problem. And the production, certainly the production declined, and the organization, all the employees are highly satisfied at that particular area. That's why this organization consult to the Elton Mayo. Now, who is Elton Mayo? Elton Mayo was a professor of Harvard Business Schools of Management. Harvard Business Schools of Management ର professor ଥିଲେ Elton Mayo. This company consult with Elton Mayo at that particular moment because the organization was drastically faced lots of problem, right? And drastically decline stage. That's why the organization consult with Elton Mayo and his associates. Around 4%, there are 4% who experimented in this particular area. 4 ଜଣ area ରେ experiment କରିଥିଲେ. One is Elton Mayo, belongs to Harvard Business School, and another 2% also the colleagues of the Elton Mayo in that particular area. And the 4th number person belongs to the Hawthorne plant. This 4% anka name bhi achi gote samastankara. So these 4% experimented in this particular area, why the production is highly decreased and why the high employee dissatisfaction was there. That's why these 4% experimented. That's why the name of the experiment we can call as a Hawthorne experiments. The experiment 1924 to 1933, around 10 years. No, the experiment of this particular person in this particular area. ସେମାନେ କହିଲେ ଯାଇକି Elton Mayo को भाई देखो सर आमे तो सब किछि एक्सेप्ट कलु सब किछि अडॉप्ट कलु FW टेलर हेनरी फॉलकर कांसेप्ट. Now why the organization it is there in this situation? कोन करबा इना? So here, so the experiment in this particular area 1924 to 33, around 10 years, and they experimented in a 4 different stage. 4टा stage रे समान experiment करिथिले. Stage 1, part 1, it is the illumination experiment 1924 to 27, around 4 years. Part 2, relay assembly test room studies 1927 to 29. Part 3, mass interviewing program 1928 to 30. And part 4, bank wiring observation and room experiment 1930 to 32. Right? 32 to 33 around. So these are the different phase, these are the different part experimented by these 4 persons. What is the situation now and how we can overcome in these situations? That's why they experimented. Right? Buchigale pilla mane concept aro. Now I will discuss the contribution. What do you mean by illumination? What do you mean by relay assembly test room study? That I will discuss right now. But etiki buchile ki mu jaha kahili pilla mane?
Yes madam.
Yes na?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Hela?
Yes.
Okay. तो एठु कोन हेला?
Yes, ma'am.
तो स्टार्ट हेला हां Elton Mayo एठु स्टार्ट हेला तंका कंट्रीब्यूशन. Elton Mayo we can called as a father of human relation approach. It means he was the first and most eminent person who said, no, we should treat human being as a human being. We should treat human being as we should not treat human being as a production. No, their need, their attitude, their feelings, their value, their level of satisfaction, everything is extremely essential for the organization. In fact, the presence of the human being, it is highly important for the organization. Elton Mayo was the first person who said, no, we should treat human being in the human being is the most important assets for the organization. He said human being is a resource. That's why the human resource concept developed in this particular era. एठु हमर human resource management concept start hela. Before that, organization treated human being आमे पढ़िबा no आपण माने human resource management paper रे पढुतिबे right before that organization treated human being as a machinery as a material as a जते आपण facility देले भी आपण ताको कोन दिन राती खटेबे ना कोन yes सब facility आपण देबे salary देले incentive देले increment देले bonus every facility all the physical facilities are there still आपण गोटे लोक कोन machine पे काम करिबो is it possible पकिजिबो सेति पई से कहले no we whatever may be the facility introduced by the organization still human being are the human being we cannot use human being like a production like a machinery like a material right जाको कष्ट हबनी जाको ये हबनी हबो ताको से मनीष so सी आइडेंटिफाई कले ह्यूमन बीइंग को गोटे एसेट्स कहिकी सेठू हमरो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट एरा स्टार्ट हैला ता पूर्वरु ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट कहिकी गोटे कांसेप्ट ही नथिला it was completely the basically what we can say human resource were treated as a production and the material so it हम start कले कोन ना एल्टन मायंको कंट्रीब्यूशन एंड हॉर्थन एक्सपेरिमेंट पार्ट 1 पिला माने आकु टिके ध्यान रे सुनिबे बुझिबे न बुझिले मते पचारिबे हला आकु ए अनुसार ही एक्सप्लेन करिवे पार्ट 1 इल्यूमिनेशन एक्सपेरिमेंट इल्यूमिनेशन माने कोन रे पिला माने व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय इल्यूमिनेशन इल्यूमिनेटिंग माने इट रिलेट्स टू
shining,
कोन रे शाइनिंग और
reflection,
लाइट रिफ्लेक्शन शाइनिंग लाइटिंग ना जनरली हमें कहिबा it is a lighting concept no ultimately reflection shining everything it relates to lighting concept Elton Mayo first he tried to experiment in this area through what are the to basically the test of the Elton Mayo in the first phase to analyze the physical factors are whether it is influence productivity or not through illumination experiment से आसिले कहिला अच्छा ठीक अछि हम एनालिसिस करिबा कोन ना ए जो सब फिजिकल फैसिलिटी दिया जे लोक मान को वेदर इट इज इन्फ्लुएंस टू एम्प्लॉय इंप्रूव प्रोडक्टिविटी और नॉट एटा को हम आगे एनालिसिस करिबा सो से कोन करले इन द इल्यूमिनेशन एक्सपेरिमेंट ही बेसिकली डिवाइड टू ग्रुप ऑफ एम्प्लॉय टू ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल ग्रुप 1 माने रखिबे टू ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल ही डिवाइड टू ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल female workers specifically both the group is a belongs both the group are the female workers are there no and group 1 is the control group group 2 second group is the test group so control group basically it was the illumination the lighting system was constant and the test group where the illumination and lighting system was actually varied right control group means the light is in a control stage and test group means it is a lighting system it is varied so two group of female worker each group 6 female worker were there it were selected and located in a 2 individual room one room is the control room another room is the test room separate room each group workers basically both the group of workers the group in the second group basically what happened now illumination it was completely varied by the in that particular group so why now because he tried to identify whether we will provide such kind of illumination ticket light vapore dele tapre ticket dim kariba so say analysis kale na ultimately whether the if such kind of physical facility lighting facility we will provide in the particular area whether the production level is decreasing or the production level is increasing so according to these studies according to this analysis जोटी कंट्रोल ग्रुप थिला सेठी तक प्रोडक्शन समान भाबरे चली थिला बट जोटी इल्यूमिनेशन थिला इल्यूमिनेशन एक्सपेरिमेंट होउथुला देयर इज सी आइडेंटिफाई करले फाइनली देयर इज नो सिग्निफिकेंट कोरिलेशन बिटवीन द प्रोडक्टिविटी एंड द फिजिकल facility like the physical facilities the lighting system there is no correlation between these two factors because एतले लाइट पूरा स्लो भी होथुला प्रोडक्शन सेम चालुथुला काहे कि ना से ग्रुप जानी थिले this group, it was completely there in an observation situation. Somebody is observing, right? आमको किया ऑब्जर्व करूचंती, आमको एनालिसिस करूचंती, आमको कंट्रोल करूचंती. तो सेति पे हमें कोन करिबा ना सब सिचुएशन रे हमें कोन करिबा प्रोडक्शन सेम भाबरे प्रोडक्शन करि चलिबा. जेते लाइट पूरा बंद हेकला प्रोडक्शन बंद हेकला. बट लाइट रो कम अधिक लाइटनिंग lighting system, it is very high, very low, it is very dim, that is there is no effect related to production and productivity. So it kon hela L10 mayo it kichi correlation baharlani. So where the intensity of light was increased, the output also increased. The intensity light while the decreased, the production also increased, continued. That's why the conclusion, एते 4 वर्षर परिश्रम परे conclusion output किछि बाहरी लानी. So CA to identify कले, Elton Mayo concluded that there is no physical facility, no. So it is if we can correlate no physical facility to production, there is no correlation between physical facility to production. So it is something different. The human dissatisfaction and production is decrease of production is there. See identify kale ki emiti kichi thibo jota ki human dissatisfaction, employee dissatisfaction, and the decrease of productivity is something different cause it may be there. Kichita different cause thai pare. Sethi pai illumination experiment overall jodi ame kahiba conclusion taro eya hi baharila. तो सेति पई जदि एडी से सक्सेसफुल हेतांते पार्ट 2 मे बी न करथांते. सेति पई से कहले देयर इज नो फिजिकल एडी कोरिलेशन हमें कहले देयर इज नो फिजिकल फैसिलिटी रिलेटेड टू प्रोडक्टिविटी, नो देयर इज नो कोरिलेशन. बट ता परे पिला माने स्टूडेंट्स माने बहुत थर आर बहुत क्रिटिसिज्म अछि नो, बहुत आपनकर बहुत एल्टन मायंकर बहुत फेवरेबल व्यूज अछि आ बहुत क्रिटिसिज्म मध्ये अछि. आ परे बहुत जिंस अडॉप्ट करा गला कहले ऑथर्स माने कहले कि ना एमती केमती होबो. How there is completely not the correlation between physical facility and the productivity. Yes, of course the physical facility and productivity have 100% the correlation between physical facility and productivity is there, and we can prove it. समाने ताकू क्रिटिसिज्म करिकि प्रूव करिया को स्टार्ट कले. जेमती कि धरंतु आमे इना गोटे एग्जांपल लबा. धरंतु आमे गोटे मॉल को बुलिबा को जाउचे. मॉल रो फिजिकल फैसिलिटी आम पई कोन दरकार, पूरा लाइटिंग सिस्टम थिबो, पूरा एसी लागि थिबो, स्लो म्यूजिक बाजु थिबो. ता सेटा केते हमको इन्फ्लुएंस करे, सेटा केते हमको मोटिवेट करे से फिजिकल फैसिलिटी टा डेफिनेटली हमको बहुत किछि इफेक्ट पकाय ना. बहुत भलो एम्बियंस टा बहुत भलो हेछि, राइट. सो मेनी ऑथर्स प्रूव दैट. ता परे कहिचंती ना फिजिकल फैसिलिटी इज आल्सो द पार्ट ऑफ द रिलेटेड टू प्रोडक्शन प्रोडक्टिविटी. बट एल्टन मायो से टू कंक्लूजन या बाहर करिकि से Part 2 is the real studies 1927 to 1929. The extension of the illumination experiment. In the relay assembly test room study, आमे सिनांती पाठरे पढ दोचे किते वर्ष परिश्रम चिंता करंतु. In the relay assembly test room study, he tried to not only identify the illumination related to production, but also the other factor. They try to introduce variety kind of factor, whether the factor is factor related to production or not. So here in this particular area, he tried to test the effect of job condition with what are the factors the organization will provide, so it will influence the job condition of the individuals. So here Elton Mayo introduced variety things in a variety stage. बहुत सारे stage रे variety जिनस से introduce करी चलिले. कौन introduce कले? In this stage, again Elton Mayo, a small homogeneous worker, a group of girl, no? Homogeneous girl. All the girls they should know to each other. First he identified two girls, जे दुईटा गर्ल को आइडेंटिफाई कले and तांको कहले से दुईटा गर्ल को, now you can identify another four girl. Those girl are highly friendly with you, जो माने तम सहित बहुत फ्रेंडली अछंती, से दुई जन आउ चार जन को आइडेंटिफाई कले. Based on this 6 homogeneous work group, around 6 girl was started, no, this experiment. Through this the Elton Mayo started this experiment. So to कौन कले से? Now here Elton Mayo basically introduced variety things in a variety stage towards the people. एमान को कौन कले? ना the assign some work, एमान को कामो assign करा गला. एमान कामो कौन थिला? So generally to manufacturing के इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वर्क, नो, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग टेलीफोन तक वायर को तार को जोड़ीबा, वायर को प्रोड्यूस करिबा, टेलीफोन को तार जोड़ीबा, ए सब एमानकर काम थिला. एमानकु काम देले, काम दबा सहित आंको को सुपरविजन रे रखिले, अंडर दिस सुपरविजन ऑफ a particular person. And apart from this, in the first stage, Elton Mayo introduced the incentive system, incentive schemes towards this particular area. And he said, Elton Mayo and the supervisor said, if you will give more production, if you will produce more product, then definitely we will give extra financial facility, the incentive facility to you girls. Here, girls are motivated. अरे वाह, आमे जदि extra काम करिबो, हमके extra financial benefit मिलिबो, definitely we will do that. So semane कोन कले, so all are friendly to each other. And semane कौन कले, एटी inspired हेतिले, motivate हेतिले, right? As compared to before, जिते ता पूर्वरु जति production होउथुला, then एटी कौन हला, after introduction of the incentive systems, then girl मानकर production ता बढ़ी थिला. If we will compare to earlier production to current production system. Then Elton Mayo, he introduced some rest interval towards the girl. रेस्ट ए सब कांसेप्ट नथिला बोली से इंट्रोड्यूस करथिले. आपण तो कहबे मैम एना सब अछि, एना सब अछि. हम आज का डेट रे हमर यूडीएचआर आसी गला, हां, इंटरनेशनल कोवेनेंट आसी गला, ह्यूमन राइट्स आसी गला, ह्यूमन हमर फंडामेंटल राइट्स आसी गला, फंडामेंटल ड्यूटी आसी गला. आगुर कोन सब थिला, इट इज बेसिकली व्हाट, सेति पांकु न्यू क्लासिकल फादर ऑफ न्यू क्लासिकल मैनेजमेंट को जाय, कि किछि नुआ आनी थिले, राइट? मॉडर्न आउ क्लासिकल भितर ये मझिरे थिले, मिडिल पाथ रे ये थिले. तो ये कौन कले?
At that time it was started. At that time it was started.
Yes,
Following
sir.
that we have upgraded.
Yes, sir. Exactly. That's why I'm आपको आज पढ़ुचे, right?
Correct.
तो इट कौन हैला? इट से कौन कले नेक्स्ट स्टेज रे से he introduced some rest interval. Morning 10 minutes rest interval, evening 10 minutes rest interval. So based on the interval system नथिला, जेमति 10 minutes interval rest interval adapt कर देले, the girls are आउरी satisfied, highly अरे wow, 10 minutes rest interval, अरे very nice. Then आमे कौन करिबा, आमे ए अनुसार आउरी काम करिबा. तांको कुहा गला, if you will give, no, if we will give 10 minutes rest interval, then you have to do your work basing on this, no. So मैंने आउरी खुशी हेले, then production कौन हैला आउरी बढ़िला. Then कौन कले, here Elton Mayo and his associates, rest period was reduced 10 minutes to reduce कर देले किते ना 5 minutes, but frequency was increased. Morning रे 2-5 minute दियो, afternoon रे 2-5 minute दियो, 5 minute पर 4 rest interval दियो. सेटु कौन हैला, productivity decreased. In terms of the increase of the productivity, though the frequency of the rest interval was there, the productivity was decreased. Then Ari, तमको तो हमें आउरी interval देलु, rest देलु, तम productivity kind decrease रहला. Then girls said that, girls complained that, no, the frequent of rest interval, it affected the rhythm of the work. आमे जो कामटा करूथबो, हमको एई हमर इंटरवल लई गला, बेल बाजी गला, चलो आमे जिबा, सेठी हमर कामटा कोन होची, स्टॉप हो जाउची, फ्रीक्वेंसी जते बेले हमर सेटा आसी जाउची. सो सेटु से कौन कले, ताको पूरा स्ट्रेट गोटे से लेसन लर्न कले, सही अनुसार आज का डेट रे रेस्ट इंटरवल दिया जाउची, राइट? लर्न कले, नो, द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ रेस्ट इंटरवल, इट इज हाईली affect towards the production and the organization activity. So how we will introduce the rest interval? Say to say it learn करके ताको design करथिले. Then say third stage रे काम करथिले. Apart from incentive and rest interval, he introduced some snacks, no morning snacks and evening snacks. Kona na some morning some sandwich and coffee, evening some soups and biscuits kind of things. No, he introduced in the morning and the evening, morning hour and the evening hours. That's why he noticed that no, the girls are girls were highly satisfied, and the productivity again it was increased. Again he how is he experiment करथिले कौन करथिले ना again he said no, the girls will work only 5 days in a week, 5 दिन काम करिवे, eliminating this Saturday. The girls will not work in this Saturday, they will work only 5 days in a week. If तांको गुटे condition रखा गला, girls, if you will complete the task within 5 days, this is your target, no? If you will complete the target within 5 days, then we will give 1 day rest to you, apart from Sunday, no? So you will only work 5 days in a week. तो समाने पूरा लागी पड़ी काम करिया को start कले. कहले wow, 2 days rest in a week, definitely we will give more than that. हमें ताठोरी अधिक करिके देखेबो. It is a challenge, no? हमें ताठोरी अधिक करिके देखेबो because we will get 2 days rest. Sunday, including Sunday, we will get 2 days rest. So say the productivity आउरी develop करिवा को लागी थिला. Apart from this, say introduce करथिले कोना ना suppose all the persons leave the organization around 5 o'clock, then definitely you girls, you will leave the organization 4:30. Half an hour before we will release you. If you will complete your task in time, then semane kon करथिले तांको task को आउरी timely complete करथिले. So dear students, A to conclusion kon asila, Elton Mayo identified that no, it is basically if the observation towards the girls, the guidance towards the girls, right? Apart from this, the basically what now here through this no, the absenteeism, na employee absenteeism, girls absenteeism, it was decreased. Girls are highly motivated and satisfied towards the organization. Productivity it was increased. Less supervision, धीरे धीरे supervision टा कमी गला. First सेमानकर observation supervision guiding थिला, then धीरे धीरे तांकर दरकार पलानी और supervision सेमाने निजे सब काम करिबा start कर देले, right? And sense of belongingness, girls मानकर जो गुटे belongingness towards the organization सेटा develop हेथिला. Self discipline, self belongingness, right? Sincerity ए सबु किछि develop हेथिला सेही particular time रे. So say to say कौन कहले ना basically here apart from this kind of facility, the social belongingness is more important rather than the physical facility. Physical facility is important, but social belongingness is more important. Interpersonal relationship is more important among the employees. एई जो गर्ल छटा समान mentality रो थिले, same mentality, friendly atmosphere, no to each other, right? They are sharing their idea, they are sharing their view, they are sharing their everything. No, that's why it is basically the everything it was done through means in a systematic manner, right? So 8 in this second stage, Elton Mayo concluded in this particular area, in this particular stage. एक अनुसार से conclusion draw करथिले. Third stage in the part 3, interviewing program. It means mass interviewing program. In the mass interviewing program, around more than 20,000 workers, 20,000 अधिक worker को more than 21,000 workers were interviewed between 1928 to 30. 1928 to 30. During these 3 years, around more than these are the employees basically what interview program conducted by Elton Mayo and his associates. initially in the first stage man dhire dhire se mane first starting re kon kortile na individual interactions kariba start kale kon interview means what asking some question by Elton Mayo towards the employee, right? Now here Elton Mayo initially it was the one-to-one interaction was there, right? And his associates one-to-one interaction was there, but later period it was converted into mass interviewing program. Ako mass interview program re converted karagala, right? Group employee को गोटे डिपार्टमेंट रो गोटे ग्रुप को बसी के समान इंटरेक्शन कले आ गोटे डिपार्टमेंट रो आ गोटे ग्रुप को सो ग्रुप मास ये मान को समान इंटरेक्शन करथिले कोन इंटरेक्शन करथिले सो जनरल क्वेश्चन आस्क्ड बाय एल्टन मायो टुवर्ड्स द एंड हिज एसोसिएट्स टुवर्ड्स द एम्प्लॉय कोन टू नो they ask some question to the employee to know the behavior and to know the basically attitude of the employee towards the organization. कौन behavior hold करचंती, कौन attitude hold करचंती, right? To know the group behavior, to know the group attitude, to know the individual behavior, to know the individual attitude towards the organization and towards the management. So general question they asked, बहुत friendly questions है, कारण ऐ सब situation किछि नथिला ता पूर्वरु ह्यूमन रिलेशन स्टडी थी, ह्यूमन रिसोर्स ऊपर केही स्टडी कर नथिले, कोन तांको व्यू, कोन तांकर नीड, कोन तांकर एक्सपेक्टेशन ना, कोन एटीट्यूड, whether they are holding positive attitude or negative attitude towards the positive behavior, negative behavior towards the organization. कारण सेमाने जदि नेगेटिव ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नेगेटिव हबो, सेमाने जदि पॉजिटिव ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पॉजिटिव हबो, एटा आइडेंटिफाई करले केवल एल्टन मायो. So से पचारथिले whether employees mananko group in the mass interview and individual interview they asked some question like whether you are satisfied towards your organization or not, yes or no, whether how is your employer, whether your employer is friendly to you or not, whether you are satisfied towards your wages or salary or not, whether the organization providing proper incentive system based on your involvement, based on your productivity or not, no, whether the organization providing promotion or not, whether healthy environment or working environment or is there or not. So these are the some question, no? How much persons are there in your family member? No? How much dependent it is there in your family member? Who is there in your family? How you are maintaining your family? So these are the some family related questions, no? And organization related questions to create kind of a familiar atmosphere, to know their view. So semanako view को try करथिले analysis करिबा पई, semanako view को judge करा जायथिला एठी, right? So here to know the small group of, to know the behavior of the individual towards the organization, because the individual behavior is depend on the organization growth and development. It depends the group behavior, the group attitude, positive and negative. It's depend on the it's depend the production and productivity of the organization. That's why he conducted this experiment, right? So जो area रे कहिले ना individually जेतले question पचरा गला openly, लोक माने मना करथिले, किछि कहिलेनी, किए कहिला, किए शेयर कला, किए शेयर कलानी, किए किछि कहिलानी, तापरे धीरे धीरे से मानता को कन्वर्ट कले, तांको सते फ्रेंडली हेले. सो देखो तम माने जदि हमो सते शेयर करिवो then definitely we will sort out your problem, right? If you will not share anything then how we will know and how we will sort out your problem. ए सब तांको पाखरे ऑप्शन रखा जाइतिला. सो सेमान सब शेयर करथिले, जोथि पई एमान ता ऊपर बहुत स्टेप नैथिले लेटर पीरियड रे. एंड लास्ट 4 पार्ट हैला कोन ना बैंक वायरिंग ऑब्जर्वेशन एंड रूम एक्सपेरिमेंट. एटा कोन थिला बैंक वायरिंग बैंक माने हला गोटे बैंक हैला जोथिरे की in the nearest of the Hawthorne plant ro nearest रे गोटे बैंक थिला, right? In that particular area 14 male employees were worked. सेठी काम करथिले 14 male employees. सेमान काम थिला कोन ना fixing the telephone and the switch, wire, the telephone, all those things are fixing to in that particular area. सेटा सेमानकर सेठी काम थिला. सेठी कोन करथिले से ना एटी से जाय की कहिथिले एल्टन मायो एंड हिज एसोसिएट्स, इट इज a small group analysis. 14 जन को नेकी से analysis करिथिले and the persons, it was not there inside the organization, It was completely there outside the organization. So here he tried to study the individual behavior, try to study the individual and group behavior towards the work. ସେମାନେ ତାକୁ study କରିବାକୁ try କରିଥିଲେ organization ବାହାରେ. Then ସେମାନେ କଣ କରିଥିଲେ कि basically they introduced they fixed some target and they said if you will complete this target within you are a group of people, 14 number of people, no, if you will finish your task within a group, तम group भितर जे करूच कर, जेमिति करूच कर, if you will complete the task, then we will give some kind of facility to you. So we will introduce the group incentive system. आमे group incentive एटी introduce करिबो, right? So एटी कोन हेतिला? So basically in this stage Elton Mayo जेतले group incentive introduce करिथिले, so ultimately at that particular moment what happened? Na the production, it was the target, it was not achieved by the workers. The production, that much of no output, it was not done by the worker. So that is very embarrassing situation faced by the Elton Mayo. अरे की आश्चर्य कथा, आमे तो कहिले ग्रुप रे तमाने काम करे, ग्रुप रे काम कले आमे तमानकु इंसेंटिव जदि तमे तम टाइम रे काम कर देबो ताले आमे तुमको इंसेंटिव प्रोवाइड करिवो. तमाने वर्कर माने काम काई कलेनी. So what is the situation? काहे कि वर्कर माने काम करनांती. So तमाने कोन वर्कर माने काम जान नथिले? Definitely जानि थिले. से माने कोन काम करि पारथांते? Definitely करि पारथांते. तो काहे कि करलेनी? कोन what is the reason? काहे कि से माने तांको टारगेट को अचीव करलेनी? काहे कि ग्रुप इंसेंटिव को एक्सेप्ट करलेनी? काहे कि ना सेट कंक्लूजन से ड्रॉ हेतिला कि all the 14 workers, some worker is more active, some worker is more, basically we can say in that particular area जदि आमे कहिबा किछि गोटे worker more active, more no effective, किछि worker थिले जे कि less active, less effective. So it कोन हेतिला? गोटे worker कहिला जदि मु if I will achieve the target, then the other my colleague will face the problem. मु जदि टारगेट को अचीव करते होछि मोर कलीग ता बळी पड़ी जिवो हैला. So मु काई करिवि? मु भी करिविनी. So basically it कोन हैला, to protect the one person try to protect the other person, right? That's why all the person they not did anything in that particular area, not माने anything नहीं करूथिले but not achieve the target. And due to the fear of unemployment, जदि आमे काम करिवु ताहाले कोन हबो? जदि मु काम कली सी कलानी ताहाले ताको बाहर कर देबे, मते रखिबे, मते बाहर करी कि ताको रखिबे ना, ए सब काहे कि आमे करिवु. आउ जदि आमे टारगेट अचीव कर देबो देन हमो कोन करा जिवो? आउरी दिया जिवो काम, जे हमो कहिबे आउरी काम करो विदिन द टारगेट, यू हैव टू डू दिस थिंग. आउ हमको इंसेंटिव आउ देबेनी तापरे एनएसना इंसेंटिव दउचंती कि आमे काम करिबा बोली. जेतले टारगेट हमर तांकर अचीव हे जिवो से माने काम हमको वर्कलोड दे देबे बट इंसेंटिव देबेनी. They will give more work, but the incentive system may not be there. So that discussion among the workers, worker भितर तांकर गोटे conclusion draw कर देले, mentality fix कर देले, no? सेति पई से कोन करथिले? तांको टारगेट को अचीव करि नथिले. So this is what, dear students, basically one kind of failure things no faced by the Elton Mayo, and he concluded that this was the situation in that particular area. That's why the target not achieved by the workers, right? So this is basically, we can say it is the experiment adopted by Elton Mayo and his associates, जो थ्रे की समाने चारिटा फेज रे करिथिले, around 10 years experiment related to human beings and how the human beings, how the contribution by the human resource and human beings, it leads to production and productivity. Whether the human resource is important or the organization physical facility is more important. That core to try to analyze the correlation between among these. That's why we can call the Elton Mayo leads to human relation approach, and the experiment is a great experiment. It is the Hawthorne experiment. Got it, my dear students? बुझी गले की?
Yes,
ना
yes,
किछि डाउट
madam.
अछि
Yes,
आपन?
madam.
Yes,
पूरा
ma'am.
क्लियर ना?
Yes,
पूरा
yes.
क्लियर
Yes,
ना?
yes, clear. Yes,
Yes,
madam.
ma'am.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Hela. तो एना चलंतु आपणकर ना यूनिट 1 कंप्लीटेड आपण कंप्लीट करले मु we have discussed in your unit 1 रे हमें कोन ना इंट्रोडक्शन टू मैनेजमेंट आउ सब आग छोट छोट यूनिट एटा सबुट बड़ यूनिट थिला हैला बहुत छोट यूनिट ताको हमें क्विकली कंप्लीट कर देबा सेथरे एते किछि टेक्निक ना इट इज अ वेरी इजी थिंग्स नो सब आग बहुत इजी अछि जोटा कि हमें डे टू डे लाइफ रे हमरो काम करू छी सेटा सेठी लिखा जाई छी प्लानिंग टाइप्स ऑफ प्लानिंग इंपोर्टेंस ऑफ प्लानिंग प्रोसेस ऑफ प्लानिंग जोटा हमें डे टू डे लाइफ रे करछे खाली ताको ऑफ बुक वाइज टिके लिखिबा दरकार दैट्स इट डिसीजन मेकिंग डिपार्टमेंटेशन राइट डेलीगेशन कंट्रोलिंग ए सब हमें जानी छे सो सेटा को खाली मु से वे रे पठै देबी जोटा कि बुक वे रे पठैबी जोटा कि अपन बुक वाइज ही लिखिबा को पड़िबो बट ओवरऑली इट इज अ वेरी बिग यूनिट इट इज योर यूनिट 1 here we have discussed what is management, what are the objectives of management, what are the nature and characteristics of management, process of management what is management defined by different eminent personalities already we have discussed no then what are the different natures and characteristics of management apart from this objective of management also we have discussed then the functions of management based on the 5 major functional areas no it is a general functions of every managers apart from this also we have discussed the process of management input process and output concept no it is a continuous process then we have discussed the role of a manager that is developed by and designed by henry Mintzberg yes henry Mintzberg designed this role of a manager 10 role of a manager gote manager 10टा टाइप रो रोल प्ले करे right so it is a general manager every manager you are a manager you are playing this kind of role other person he is a manager she is a manager he is also playing this kind of role samoste ita general role apart from this the special role that is HR manager marketing finance production a special kind of role they are playing in the special area hela to eta thila tankore role apart from the role we have discussed the level of management right in this level of management based on the level of management top level middle level lower level we have discussed what now we have discussed the skills of a manager now skills of a manager that as per the level there are 3 skills of every managers no holding every managers that is the conceptual skill human skill and technical skill based on the 3 level these skills of a manager developed by Robert Elkins. Robert Elkins, who designed the skills of a manager based on the level of management. Then after, we have discussed the contribution, the different management thought, the theoretical framework of management. As already I told you, many theories are there, many contributions are there, many contributors are there, but out of many contributors 3 most important contribution it is there in your syllabus that is F.W. Taylor is the father of scientific management Henry Fayol F.W. Taylor father of scientific management we have discussed some techniques by F.W. Taylor and some principles developed by F.W. Taylor then after we have discussed the contribution by Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol was the father of administrative management and he contributed so many things towards the organization. Last class yesterday we have discussed, right? Here, Henry Fayol, who developed the 5 functions of management, functional area of a manager or management, then what are the attribute and what are the means the quality required for a manager and apart from this he contribute the 6 category of business activity and the 14 principles of management 14 principles management right 14 को 14 mane rakhiba ko padibo then lastly we have discussed today now we have discussed the contribution by Mayo, Elton Mayo, the father of human relation approach. So in this era, this factor, no, the human resource management concept, the human resource management era developed. Eight human resource management era ta develop heithila. So this is all about your unit 1. I have completed T and bit things related to your unit 1. I hope all the students, every student, it must be clear to you. Yes, na students?
Yes, madam.
Very good. Thank you so much. तो चलंतु आमे स्टार्ट करिबा काली को कोन स्टार्ट करिबा tomorrow I will start कोन ना unit 2. Unit 2 it is planning and decision making. So what is planning? What are the objective of planning? It means importance of planning, types, process. What is decision making? What are the importance? What are the type? What are the process of decision making? It is very, very easy. So आगो को easy सब आसीबो हैला काली हां
मैम बुक रे तापर जोटा अछि मॉडर्न थ्योरी
बुक रे मॉडर्न थ्योरी अछि सिलेबस रे मॉडर्न थ्योरी नाही तो बाबू सिलेबस रे मॉडर्न थ्योरी अछि
नहीं नहीं
ना
नहीं मैम नहीं
हां हां आमे सुनंतु बुक रे से जहा देई थाउ बुक रे जहा देई थाउ हमर सिलेबस रे जहा अछि क्वेश्चन हमर सिलेबस वाइज आसीबो बुझिलो ना बुक रे हमर 1000 जिंस दब आमे 1000 जिंस बुक रे लेखिबा आमे क्लासिकल लेखिबा न्यू क्लासिकल लेखिबा मॉडर्न लेखिबा सब लेखिबा किंतु क्वेश्चन हमर आसीबोनी से ऊपर हमर क्वेश्चन आसी सुन आमे तो पढिया पे बोले बहुत जिंस अछि किंतु हमर क्वेश्चन को ऊपर आसीबा आज पर द सिलेबस जे भी जतले डिजाइन करिवे क्वेश्चन हैला सेतले से सिलेबस को देखि के क्वेश्चन डिजाइन करिवे बुक को देखि के नहीं तो आमे बुक वाइज जिबा सॉरी आमे सिलेबस वाइज जिबा ठीक अछि ना पिला माने
मैम यूनिट 1 रो क्वेश्चन किछ दियौ तो मैडम
यूनिट 1 रो क्वेश्चन आपण मानकर हमर एइना न करी कि हमर पूरा जितले क्लास सरी जिवो कोर्स सरी जिवो हैला आमे यूनिट वाइज क्वेश्चन डिस्कशन करतबा हैला यूनिट 1 रो कोन क्वेश्चन 2 रो 3 रो 4 देखिबा साथ तक ऑफलाइन करिवे क्वेश्चन डिस्कशन पई कि ऑनलाइन करी कि एथिरा हम डिस्कशन करिया मो सारन को कंफर्म हे जिबली हे गला पर आपण को सहित क्वेश्चन पूरा मो डिस्कशन कर देबी
दिन दिन लेट हो तो एपड देइतला मैं स्टडी करथां तो सब को आउरी
यूनिट 1 रे तो मो पचार देबी सर जदी कहबे क्वेश्चन पे हम एडी डिस्कशन कर देबे ताले मो यूनिट 1 क्वेश्चन कल डिस्कशन करिवे तापर यूनिट 2 स्टार्ट करिवे
श्योर मैडम
हैला जदी से कहबे ऑफलाइन रे मैम yes definitely I will share the ppt sir no problem मो ppt share कर देबी क्वेश्चन भी डिस्कशन कर देबी सब कर देबी हैला क्वेश्चन भी डिस्कशन कर देबा हां मु दीपक को देई देबी आपनकर दीपक समस्त को शेयर कर देबो किछ असुविधा नै आ क्वेश्चन मु सार को पचार देबी क्वेश्चन मु सार को पचार देबी जदी सार कहिबे नाही हम ऑफलाइन करी कि क्वेश्चन डिस्कशन करिबा जो लास्ट क्लास ता तो सेठी करिबा नाही जदी कहिबे नाही एना क्वेश्चन डिस्कशन कर दियो देन फर्स्ट टुमारो आई विल फर्स्ट डिस्कस द यूनिट 1 क्वेश्चन देन आई विल स्टार्ट यूनिट 2 प्लानिंग हैला एंड आफ्टर द कंप्लीशन ऑफ द क्लास yes sir after the completion of the class I will send you this slide every slide ठीक अछि
yeah ma'am yes ma'am
okay thank you dear students sollantu good night bye bye
Good night, ma'am.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
thank you
It was nice session.
thank you